Welcome back to another Process 23 video series where at Process 23 we help you build the DNA of your business. Today I want to talk to you about 5-star service and what that means for your practice. The reality is that 5-star service is a commitment in your practice. And what that commitment is to really is exceeding people's expectations. It's about delighting our customers. But 5-star service is a commitment. Do not be mistaken. It's not something to be taken lightly in your practice. When you commit to 5-star service, it will be an ongoing commitment for everyone on your team. But here's the reality. I've seen the landscape of dentistry firsthand. Corporate dentistry and large group practices are continuing to grow. The landscape of dentistry is going to change even more over the next 10 to 15 years. And if you want to build a successful practice, whether it's a solo independent practice or a group practice, you must differentiate yourselves from everyone else out there. And the way that you're going to do that is in how you provide your dentistry. What do we really do for our customers? It's no different from a business perspective or a dental perspective. What we do for our customers is we serve them. Approaching dentistry from a servanthood mentality just helps you provide a higher level of care. And it's really sort of the foundation of where 5-star service comes from. Because if our goal is to also exceed their expectations, we must first know what their expectations are. So one of the ways that we do that is we ask. It's actually quite simple. There's many times where I call my patient the night before their first visit to the office and I'll say, "Hey John, this is Andy Goldsmith. I'm going to be your dentist tomorrow. I understand that you have some pain on the lower left, but is there anything else I can do to create a better experience for you? Or is there anything else I can do to exceed your expectations tomorrow?" And what I'm looking for is some sort of value statement. Yeah, you know what? Just don't hurt me. Okay, great. I wasn't planning on it, and we don't usually hurt people, or whatever it is that you say. If John says something like, "Hey, yeah, I'd love a new car tomorrow," you go, "Great, I'll do my best, but remember I am just a dental office." And then call your dental office manager and say, "Hey, I need you to stop by Walmart on the way to the practice tomorrow and grab a little Matchbox Mercedes for me." I did that. I did exactly that. And when that new patient showed up, I handed him the Mercedes and I said, "Can't exactly drive it home, but I just wanted you to know I was listening to you." I instantly created a raving fan out of that experience by listening to what it was that they expected. So it's important to do that. We also serve our patients, we exceed their expectations, and we build relationships with them. This is where the foundation of trust is in any business interaction, but especially in dentistry. We work on a very delicate, very personal part of people's bodies. And building a relationship is an essential component that you must learn to do throughout your whole team. The other piece is that we need to be communicating with them regularly. And nowadays, there's so many ways to do that digitally that it's become very, very simple to send them newsletters, emails, text messages, video messages. Maintaining a constant communication process with your customers is crucial in continuing to provide 5-star service to them. You've already heard me say a couple times that 5-star service is a commitment, and boy, is it ever a commitment. Because what happens is as soon as you tell your patients that you provide 5-star service, they will take that lens that they have for 5-star service and look at your practice through that lens. So once you commit to 5-star service, just know that your team and your patients will uphold you to that standard. So it's always important that we continue to commit to that level of care. And along those lines, you need to also know about people's expectations, how they're changing, and how that affects your own standard of 5-star service in your practice. So here's one of the foundations that you'll need to have first, is that a lot of us have experienced 5-star service before, and everyone has to some level or another. But a lot of our team maybe has not experienced 5-star service. So you'll need to show them what 5-star service looks like. And here's how we did it in our practice. We went out to PAC Live in San Francisco. And one of the weekends that we went out there, we split everyone on our team into groups of 2. We gave each group an envelope. In that envelope was a little bit of cash, about $150, and a list of questions. Those 5 questions were for them to take to the manager of each establishment. So an example would be they would open up their envelope and it would say, you need to go to the Ritz-Carlton in San Francisco. Find the manager on duty and ask him these 5 questions. So they would approach them and say, hi, this is who we are, this is what we're doing. We have $150 to spend at your establishment today, and we have to get these 5 questions answered. Can you help us understand 5-star service? And so it would go through, what is 5-star service? What is your commitment level like? How do you get that? How do you create that ethos, that culture in your company to provide 5-star service on an ongoing basis? How do you deal with feedback? All sorts of questions. And then what we did was we all got back together later that night and we discussed what everyone's experience was like. It was phenomenal. And it helped us create our own standards for our practice of what 5-star service was going to look like for any patient that walked through our doors. When you create your own level of 5-star standards for your practice, there's going to have to be some ground rules. For me, I have 7 ground rules that I like to follow. First of all, always exceed the customer's expectations. That needs to be your number 1 priority, regardless of what your standards look like and what those standards really are. The second rule is that your leadership has to be 5-star. You have to be 5-star to your team, to yourself, and to your patients. But your leadership has to be 5-star. The other essential part is that your team needs to be 5-star to each other. There's so many dental practices where people are just butt heads to each other. They gossip about each other and talk behind each other's backs and create conflict and drama. And if they are that way, truly providing 5-star service as a team just will not work. One of the things that they talk about at the Ritz-Carlton is they say, we are ladies and gentlemen serving ladies and gentlemen. They respect each other right from the get-go, and that has to happen on your team. Your systems must also support 5-star service. An example of that is, in our practice, if we were ever more than 10 minutes behind schedule, somebody behind the desk got up, grabbed 2 movie tickets, which we kept on hand, and handed them to our customer and said, please excuse us for running a little bit behind schedule. We know your time is very important and we value that. As a sign of our gratitude for you and for your patients, we wanted to offer you 2 complimentary movie tickets for you and your spouse. Right away, that system was in place. As soon as anyone waited more than 10 minutes, that automatically kicked in. We also had a system in place for if anyone who ever waited for 20 minutes. We had systems in place for all sorts of issues that could arise so that we could anticipate them and not excuse them, which is the next point on the list, is that if something comes up, you need to anticipate it before it becomes an excuse. If your bathroom is broken, anticipate that people are going to need to go to the bathroom and let them know in advance instead of just hanging up a sign that says out of order or sorry, no toilet paper, something like that. Send them in advance. Let them know. Say, hey, our restroom is being renovated so that we can create a better 5-star experience for you in the future. In the meantime, you'll need to use the restroom just outside our front door here on the left-hand side. And we even put a couple things in there anticipating that you may have some additional needs, like putting in some hand lotion, scented hand lotion, or some hand gel, some sanitizing hand gel, different things like that. We even put some complimentary toothbrushes in there to help you freshen up your mouth as well before the doctor takes a look at you. Anticipating people's needs before they become an excuse is one of the big 7 for me. It's also important that you practice the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It just makes sense in all aspects of dentistry and all aspects of business. And then finally, create a standard in your office. Create your own gold standards, as the Ritz-Carlton calls them. At the Ritz-Carlton, every employee, every team member carries with them in their pocket a folded up card. On that card is their credo, their motto, their gold standards. They carry that with them at all times. And it has some really important ideas on there, such as every client will enjoy a warm, relaxed, yet refined ambiance at the Ritz-Carlton. That is huge. Genuine care and comfort of our clients is our highest priority. Another huge idea. Don't be afraid to go out there, put yourself at the highest level, and see where your team is willing to exceed people's expectations. It doesn't take a lot of effort in dentistry. That's the great news, because in dentistry, people anticipate that it's going to be kind of a crappy experience. So exceeding their expectations is not that difficult. Exceed people's expectations. Find out what they are. Create a set of gold standards with your team and commit to it daily. That will take your practice to the next level. It will differentiate you from other dentists in the community, and it will help your practice thrive. Thank you so much for allowing me to share with you today. I look forward to sharing with you more Process 23 teachings and helping you build the DNA of your business. Thank you so much, and make today great.